Hey guys, it's Anthony with the Xbox Boomer channel, and I'm here with several more game pickups. These are recent game pickups that, for the most part, just came in the mail. I had to go to the post office and pick them up today, but a lot of these are through bids. Buy it now on online sites that you can buy retro video games on, and I don't think I got any in person on this game haul. But I'm just going to show you what they are. So we'll just start. We'll go left to right. And these videos are designed to where, you're not going to really know what these games are until, we go through the video. Unless you fast forward and you cheat, But the first one is not a game at all. It's actually a manual. Kazam. It's a Tac Evolution. And Tac Evolution is a game, it's a dinosaur game, a first-person shooter. And I already have this game, so blah blam. But you'll see that my copy, it's missing the manual. And so we'll take this. I mean, I know it's not in the greatest shape, but we'll go boop. And for $5, let me make sure that clicks down. These cases, these original Xbox cases don't always click like they should. But yeah, for $5, I completed my copy of Tac Evolution, which is a very, very good game. So I'm very happy about that. So we do have one Xbox One game this time, and I don't usually collect Xbox One games unless they're very, very cheap. But I have Star Wars Battlefront, the remaster. And this game I only paid about $4 for, and this is complete in box. And I haven't played much of this. I did play it when it first came out for just a few matches, probably like 2 hours or something like that. But I do hear that there is an offline component to this game. So I'm just hoping that, maybe if I get bored or I want to go back and play this, there is some kind of offline mode. I did order the second game as well, because the second Star Wars Battlefront is also very cheap. But I'm still waiting for that one in the mail. So for $4, like I said, got the Star Wars Battlefront for Xbox One. And now we're going to move into some 360 games. So the first one, kind of a boring one, but a game that everybody's played at some point. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare for the 360. Now this is the original release of the game, because I already have this game. But I have the, I think it's the Game of the Year edition that includes the map pack. So this is just a very nice copy of the, the original release of the game, complete in box. So it's got the manual. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure I have a really nice solid copy of this game. Because this is pretty much like the Mario 3 of the, Xbox 360. So yeah, I grew up with this game and I wanted a really nice copy. So that's what that is for like $6. Next game, got DJ Hero 2. Now I had the, I didn't have it growing up, but I played the DJ Hero turntable with the first game when I was a little bit younger because my cousin had it. So I do have a disc-only version of the first DJ Hero, but I wanted to get a really nice version of the second game and the first game as well. So I went ahead and picked this up for probably $5 or so, which is very cheap and very affordable. Might have been closer to $6, but here it is. It's complete in box. Oh, we'll pick that up. It's got the manual, a solid game disc. So that's just one to get while it's cheap. A lot, not all of the music games, but a lot of the music games are still pretty affordable if you guys are into them. So this is just something to mess around with. So I got that. Next one, boom, another rhythm game. This is a Rock Revolution for the Xbox 360. And you can see this is a replacement case because this is actually a Quake 4 case from Electronics Boutique. So you can see, I mean, I tell all these people who want to collect 360 games or are interested in retro games, these games, even though some of them are cheap, they are quality games. Because back in the day, I mean, I know this isn't for Rock Revolution, but somebody paid Quake 4, $39.99 for it back in the day. And, these games, a lot of them have fallen in price through the years just because you're buying like a $9 or $10 Xbox 360 game. It doesn't mean that it's a bad game at all. So, I mean, don't take the price for, this game sucks. Because there's a lot of really good, cheap games out there. But unfortunately, this, as far as I remember, is not one of them. So Rock Revolution is just a generic version of basically Rock Band. And as far as I know, this works with the Guitar Hero and the Rock Band musical instruments. But I'm just kind of on a quest right now to collect all the generic rhythm games and music games for the 360. So this is really comparable to like if you played I think it's called Power Gig Rise of the Six String. It's just a horrible low quality rhythm game. And so yeah, I picked this one up for I think about $6 USD. This is all US money. So yeah, that's Rock Revolution. Next game, we've got Mindjack. So Mindjack is a third-person shooter, and this game, it's a Square Enix game down there. And this is notorious because, there's a YouTuber out there, and his name is Angry Joe. There we go. And Angry Joe, he used to make video game rants when the 360 was popular about all the 360 games that sucked balls. And Mindjack is a game that is notorious for being just a horrible, like dog shit Xbox 360 game. And so that's why I wanted to get a hold of this one, because it's one of those games that's almost like Ride to Hell Retribution, where it's known for being just a terrible game. This one, there is some waviness or like some kind of weirdness to the cover art on the front. But it is complete in box. So I got the manual and a game disc. And like I said, I think this one was about $12 USD. Next. This one is actually a really good 360 game. This is a Doom 3 BFG edition for the Xbox 360. This is a reimagined version of Doom 3 for the PC and the original Xbox. And this is where I met one of my closest friends that I've played games with over the years. His name's Eric. And we actually met because we were the only two people playing Doom 3 BFG Edition on Xbox Live. Like this game was very dead back in the day when it came out. You couldn't even find a match online. And there's a lot of multiplayer achievements that can be unlocked on your profile. And I just messaged this guy. I was like, hey, man, you want to boost some achievements online, You want to cheat and unlock them all? And he was like, yeah, bro, like I'll invite you to a party. And that's how I met him. And so this game, for that reason, it's got very good memories for me. But personally, if you want to play Doom 3, I really would recommend playing the original Xbox version. And the reason for that is because... number one, in the BFG edition, a lot of the levels, like the actual design and the layout, are different. Like the enemy placement, the where a stairwell will be located. So you're not getting that original Doom 3 experience. And also, a key feature to this game is the flashlight. And in Doom 3 for the original Xbox, the flashlight, I believe it was taken out with the white button on the Xbox controller. And when you had the flashlight turned on, you couldn't actually shoot any of your guns. So it made it very scary because when you went in the dark areas of the game, you weren't able to fire your gun unless it was pitch black. And in the BFG edition, I mean, this is a controversial take. I didn't like how they changed the flashlight that was held in your hand to an actual, like a headlamp. So in the 360 version, you can actually shoot while your flashlight is on. And it kind of takes away from that scariness a little bit. But this is another game I think I paid like maybe $11 or $12 for. Pretty cheap game. Really good game for the money. This is Omerta, City of Gangsters, this next game. And again, like I said, this is proof. Back in the day, this is a GameStop sticker from probably not that long ago. And somebody paid $27.99 for this game. I didn't pay no $27.99. I paid probably $9 or $10, USD, American money. And, all these games, just because some goober online says like, oh, this is an expensive game, or this is a really cheap game, that says nothing about the actual quality of the game. So if you're able to break away from the herd a little bit and be like, oh, this game's actually really good, and recognize like what this game was back in the day, you can find games for cheap. I mean, I'm just reiterating that for you. But this game I've actually never played. This is, unfortunately, it's a beat up copy. I didn't know it, but like I said, the post office here in our area, they beat the living piss out of all of our packages. So they actually broke this game, the case anyways. So that kind of sucks. But it's like a top down, almost like a squad commander game, like a XCOM almost, it seems like. And I'm very excited to try this one out. It does have the manual in the back here, and of course the game disc. And these, just for reference, if you've never seen one of these, maybe you're from another country or something, in the popular store, GameStop, whenever you used to buy used games, they don't leave, the game disc in the case when it's displayed like this in the store. They'll put the game disc behind the counter in these little paper sleeves. And, because they don't want people stealing the game disc or whatever, pooping on it, peeing on it, whatever. And, sometimes they'd give you these little sleeves with your game, just in the case. So that seems to be the situation here. Little butthurt that the, like I said, the game case is messed up, but, I mean, that happens, All right, and our last 360 game is Guitar Hero 5. And this is one of the later entries on the 360 in the Guitar Hero franchise. And I've never played this game, so I'm very, very excited to try this out because I'm an absolute Guitar Hero fiend. I didn't even know until, just a couple months ago that this game exists. And right now, it seems like between $15 and $20 you can get a copy. I believe I paid about $15 for the complete inbox here in 2024. So that's a pretty cool game. I'm excited to play. And then now we're going to get into these original Xbox games because that's been my main focus collecting as of lately. So the first game we got, this is a Ski and Hutch for the original Xbox. Complete inbox. This is a very cheap game. It does have a registration card in it if you guys are looking for the CIB. And I want to say this game's like $7 or something like that, $6-7. And even though it is like a vehicle combat game, it is a very fun game because you're basically, while you're driving, you are playing as both of the characters and you are shooting like your enemy cars and different things in the environment, out the passenger's like seat while you're driving. So this is a pretty, cheap, like a sleeper hit for the original Xbox. If you like something to just kind of throw on mindlessly, that's a good game for it. The next one we've got XMen Legends. This is a game that is pretty similar to like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It's not a terrible game, but I haven't played much of it, to be honest with you. I do remember someone gifted me this as a kid, one of my babysitters back in the day, but I didn't really play it much. But it is it's a superhero game, kind of like in a beat 'em up style. And that one, I want to say was like $9 or $10, something like that. Next one is Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. And this is kind of cool. I'm going to leave that on there. That's the old EB Games sticker that they used to put in there. And EB Games was a very popular competitor to GameStop back in the day here in America. I don't think they exist anymore. I can't say I've seen one. And then this here, this is you can barely see it because someone started peeling it off. This is a Blockbuster sticker. So this originally was maybe a rental at Blockbuster. I mean, it's hard to say because it's, like I said, it's all torn up. But that tells you a little of the history of it. And then you've got your GameStop or your EB Games barcode on the side. And I think I've mentioned it before, but I really hate when back in the day, certain GameStops used to put the stickers on the actual cover art of the game instead of the case. So like that sticker, there's no way you're going to get that off. But this sticker, I mean, I'll go ahead and remove any crappy stickers or anything that looks bad. But just for nostalgia, I usually keep, the nice stickers like that on there because I think it's kind of cool. But this is like I said, cheap game, like $8, $9. Comes complete in box, and I always wanted to play this back in the day. I saw it on the shelf several times as a kid. I just never had the money to buy it, and wanted to get different games. And this is a very fun first-person shooter. I mean, it looks very generic from the cover art and whatever and the name, but I put this in for probably like half an hour, and I had a lot of fun with it, just the other day. So that's Mace Griffin, and we'll keep going. And there are some gems in here. They're not all like $8 trash. There are a couple gems in here. We got Call of Duty Finest Hour, and you guys might have seen this in one of my YouTube shorts, because I was very frustrated about this game. So I wanted a nice black label, Call of Duty Finest Hour. Because, a lot of people have different words for it, but one term I've heard is black label for the original Xbox. So that means the original release of the game, because you have the little black, cover art at the top there. And then the green case, of course, because there is a Platinum Hits version of this one. But it's got the manual, and it's a little beat up. But the primary issue with this one is that the game disc is very badly scratched. It has a scratch all the way around the ring, and it doesn't play. So I'm actually waiting in the mail right now for a replacement game disc for this game. So it's sad, because it seems like I said, ordering on eBay, I'm not even being funny here. I would say like 1 out of every maybe 2 or 3 games I get, there is a problem with that game, unfortunately. That's why it's so hard buying this stuff online, especially if you want it in really good condition. But yeah, this is this is pretty much the first console version of Call of Duty. And opposed to what you might think, if you're, haven't been around that long playing Call of Duty, this is not the first Call of Duty game. The first Call of Duty game was just called Call of Duty. It is not Finest Hour. But this is, as far as I know, the first console release. And it looks like they gave us some cockroach pee free of charge on that one. So I'll have to clean these up. None of these are cleaned up. But I did see some comments on my other videos. And believe it or not, guys, I do clean all of my games like a freaking Nazi. I sit there and scrub them and scrub them and scrub them with warm water and Q-tips and rags before they go on my shelf. So I will have to, I'll have to take care of that one. All right, next game. We've got Elias, or Ali. I think it's Elias. I think that's how you say that. Alias, Elias. And this is based on a TV show from like the early to mid 2000s. I never saw the TV show, but this seems to me to be very similar to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer game on the original Xbox. It seems like it's a third-person beat-em-up game, but it also does have some guns in it. So I'm expecting some third-person shooter elements. But it looks like a very creepy game, a very suspenseful game. And like you guys can see, it's complete in box, comes with the manual. And then if you want Elias complete in box, you have to get your registration card. Now that's, if you're not a collector, understand there is a difference between complete and complete in box. Complete in box means you have everything that game shipped with. Any coupons, any Xbox Live trials, any warranty cards. Complete, typically, is like a shyster term that people on eBay use to sell you an incomplete game that just has the manual. So, just know there's a difference if you're a serious collector. But yeah, I'm excited to play that one. I think this game was maybe only about like $8, something like that. But yeah. Next one, we've got Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. And this is a special game to me for several reasons. I did have this as a kid back in the day, and it's kind of funny because my parents didn't really, well, at least my mom didn't want me playing Halo back in the day because it was so violent and gratuitous with all the blood and the shooting. So when they bought me my first original Xbox, they were like, oh, we're going to buy you this nice little monkey game, for kids. It's rated T. And it's hilarious because this has almost like more violence than Halo. This is straight up. This is a first-person shooting game, as you can see, and you're running around shooting raptors with like Thompson submachine guns. You're throwing spears at like giant centipedes and impaling them on the wall. This is a freaking sleeper gem, absolute freaking banger and sleeper of a video game gem. And they did make this on other consoles. So there's even an updated version on the Xbox 360. And that one I do have over on the shelf. And that's, of course, the 360 version is the best way to play this game, in my opinion. But the problem is the 360 version, last time I checked, was like close to $70. See, you can, if you're willing to play the original Xbox version, which plays fine. It's just a little bit crappier graphics, of course. This game, you can buy it like complete in box in perfect condition for like $9. That's it, $9. And this game, if you are a collector, it has a very special feature to it. Because some versions of the game have this sticker, or not sticker, this little emblem on the cover art, and it says free movie ticket inside. And that's what makes this version very, very collectible. Because at first glance, you don't see anything. You see, I got the manual, and then I got the game disc. Well, if you grab this manual, right? We'll move this here. You open this manual up, and you got to fish for it a little bit. Like if you're looking at this at a Goodwill, you got to kind of dig a little bit. And look at this right here. In the middle of the manual, like stapled inside, you see, simply detach the certificate below and present it at the box office. January 15th of 2006. Compliments of Ubisoft. And you flip it over, and you literally, for $9, bought a movie ticket from 2006 to the King Kong movie. Isn't that freaking sweet? I think that's badass. What kind of collector has something like this in their collection? A King Kong movie ticket. And there's other games as well. Like I have 2 copies of Ratatouille for the Xbox 360 that came with movie tickets. But I'm telling you, this is something that people are sleeping on, dude. If you want something cool and kind of interesting in your collection, not too many people have Peter Jackson's King Kong on Xbox with the movie ticket in it. So that's that's something to look for. And like I said, it's significantly cheaper than the 360 version. Just phenomenal game. I've beaten that one several times. Phenomenal game. Okay, so moving on off of King Kong, we've got Tac II and the Staff of Dreams, or just the Staff of Dreams. Blah. Now, I was never really able to get a hold of any of the Tac games as a kid. But a lot of times going over to my friend's house, he had, I think, a couple of the Tac games on GameCube, and he used to talk about how good they were. When we were little kids, that is. But this is a Nickelodeon game, as you see. I think they had a TV show based on this. But this one, I was a little butthurt because I paid, I want to say it was like $9 for it, something like that, $8, $9. And it said it had the manual. Well, someone's, pet chimp ripped the frickin' manual just apart. It doesn't have any of the, the front of the manual, the back of it. It's just the center section of the manual. And that was very disappointing. So, yeah, I mean, it's not optimal, but at least I've got something in there, I guess. I mean, that's another one for $5. I'll look out and see if I can find a better copy or a manual. But if you are collecting the Tac games for the original Xbox, I will say they do not have the first Tac game available for the original Xbox. You've got to buy it on a different console. So Tac 2, Tac 2 is the first entry that was on the original Xbox. Okay, and then, boom, Tac 3. We've got the next entry in the Tac series. And this one was only, I think it was like $7. So these are some pretty cheap games still, pretty affordable. And this is Tac the Great Juju Challenge. And so you can see, again, someone back in the day paid, $19.99 at Game Force Mandarin, wherever that is. Kind of a weird name for a game store. But anyways, yeah, this is another, platforming game for kids. And I'm kind of excited to try these. Because like I said, I didn't have the Tac series as a kid. And this is a very nice copy. Because that's how the front of the manual for an original Xbox game should look. It should have the Xbox logo and some kind of cover art on it. But yeah, that's the third game in the series for Tac. So $7. Next, boom. This is Myst III Exile. And then there's a little subtitle, The Perfect Place to Plan Revenge. These are point-and-click games. If you've never played a Myst game, I want to say I've only had one Myst game back in the day, and I think it was for Sega Saturn, I want to say. I think it might have been the first Myst game. I can't really remember. But yeah, these are kind of like a point-and-click adventure game. And it's like a mystery game. Like you're solving puzzles, you're solving mysteries. And the only bad thing about this one is that the post office annihilated it. They sent their tax squirrel to chew through my copy of Myst 3. And, makes you a little butthurt. But again, it is what it is. I mean, I know on my channel, sometimes I act really pissed off and everything that, people send me these broken, beaten up games. And while it is a little upsetting, I do realize that I am very fortunate and blessed, to have all of these video games. So I'm not really mad. I mean, it's not like a life or death situation. But, it is upsetting, And, but this one does have the manual at least. It's a very nice copy of the manual. And it looks like some kind of something here. What is this? Let's fish this out. What comes with this game? It's something. Oh, it's really in there, buddy. What is that? It's like attached to the manual. Oh, this is just a little fold out. Get cheat codes online, bro. Yeah, so just part of the manual. I thought maybe there's a registration card or something. But yeah, Myst 3 it ran me about $12. And of course, with Myst 3, I had to get the only other Myst game that's on the original Xbox, Myst 4 Revelation. I think this one was like $1 cheaper maybe than Myst 3. So I want to say I paid like $11 here in 2024. But again, it's another puzzle-solving game, kind of like a point-and-click adventure as far as I know. And I have not played these games. Like I said, I've only played I think the Sega Saturn version of Myst. And this one, sometimes these eBay sellers send you nice little things. Have fun! Have fun! They send you cute little love letters in there, buying stuff from them. But yeah, it comes complete in box, so it's got the manual, game disc, all that good stuff. And this one, the only complaint, I guess, is that the cover art's a little wavy. Sometimes sitting like outside in a mailbox or in the mail carrier's car or whatever, sometimes they do get like some weather damage or like some sun damage or whatever. So that just happens, you know. You try to get the best stuff you can, but like I said, it's hard because other people don't care about your video games, you know. Next one, Chicago Enforcer. If you've never heard of this is a first-person shooter. It's like a mop game that takes place in Chicago, and it is very rudimentary. I remember this was an extremely forgettable game, you know, just very basic, but it is a, you know, first-person shooter on original Xbox, which is, you know, the selling point. If you want something different than your, you know, your Call of Duties and your Halos. This one is complete in box, and the game disc is like falling out of there. So I got the manual, all that good stuff, black and white manual. But it's just a nice copy of the game. And this game, nobody wanted this back in the day. Like, I think the first time I bought this game, it was like $3.99 at the game store. Because I did have this when I was younger. But I want to say nowadays it's creeping closer to like $15, I want to say. Which is kind of crazy because it's not like a fantastic game or anything. But yeah, I want to say I paid maybe $12 for it, something like that. Just because, again, I had it as a kid. I wanted it back. This next one, I bet you a lot of you guys have seen. This is Quantum Redshift. And Metal Jesus, he actually made a video about this game not that long ago, and I heard about it, and I scooped it up because it's pretty cheap. Again, it's like a $10 or $11 game right now, and I do think this one in the long term is gonna shoot up. So it's complete in box. It's got the manual and game disc, and this is basically like a, as far as I understand, it is a almost like a spin-off of the game Wipeout for the PlayStation 1. So it's like a you know, a combat racing game type of thing. And I'm excited to play it, you know. I mean, I'm not huge into racing games or anything like that, but this one does look kind of fun. It looks kind of like Fatal Inertia for the 360. So yeah, that's still a cheap one as of the making of this video, which, like I said, expect these to go up, man. These are, you know, we're in the entry-level stages of original Xbox and 360. Entry-level. Stuff's going to keep rising. I'm telling you guys. Telling you, some of these games, not all of them, but some of these are going to shoot to the frickin' moon. I'm telling you. All right. Next one is Hunter the Reckoning. Now, I used to play Hunter the Reckoning Wayward. I think it was on the PlayStation 2. With my cousin back in the day, but I never had Hunter the Reckoning on the Xbox. So I always wanted to play this game, and I do have it in storage, but I was never able to really put some time into it or play it. So I wanted it back, and this game is it goes for about $15, anywhere from $15 to $20 right now. And I got it for a little cheaper. I want to say maybe $12 I spent on this game. But it doesn't matter because this game was the other game I bought with Call of Duty Finest Hour, and it doesn't work. The game disc is too badly scratched underneath, and it doesn't play at all. So yes, I'll probably try the toothpaste trick on this game, but I do have a replacement game disc as well coming in the mail for this one. And I want to say the replacement game disc I paid about $5 for, $6. So just be careful because, like I said, a lot of these original Xbox games are getting very old. And same with like your PlayStation 2 games, your Sega Dreamcast, you know, Sega CD, any of that stuff. And they, you know, kids over the years have scratched the piss out of these games. They've chewed on them, you know, thrown them in the toilet and flushed. So, you know, you want to be careful because, you know, a lot of these sellers have had these games sitting in their attic or their basement or whatever for 10 years, you know, and they don't really know if these games work. And in my opinion, it's a pain in the ass returning any game or trying to get a refund. So like I said, unless it's really expensive, I don't even mess with it anymore, because I've had such a horrible experience of buying games online. I mean, these past few years of just people like swindling me. All right, so we're down to the last three. I'm pretty sure some of these are bangers. So number one, we've got Dinotopia, the Sunstone Odyssey. And this is a phenomenal copy of the game, okay? It is complete in box. I paid, I think, $14 or $15 for it. In this game, I was shocked it was not more expensive, because it is such a unique game, compared to like any other original Xbox title. It's like a dinosaur game that you play in third person. You play as this little humanoid right here. And I didn't have this game growing up, but I always wanted it, because I was like addicted to Jurassic Park. I was addicted to like Tac Evolution, which is another dinosaur game on the original Xbox. And I always freaking wanted this game. And I just never came across it for cheap. I never was able to buy it. And so now I scooped it up. And it's my understanding that this game is not very good. But that's okay. Sometimes I like to play them just to see what the hell I missed out on. So yeah, that's a Dinotopia, a dinosaur game. Next one. Boom. Got a big baller here. Urban Chaos Riot Response. Now, this is a first-person shooter where you are kind of, it's kind of getting fuzzy there on you. You're a police officer, and you're running around helping like firefighters and other police police officers during like a terrorist event, some kind of like riot or civil unrest type of deal. And this has always been a very sought after game and a very hard to find game. I've seen this a lot of times over the years, but it's been $40, $50 US. And I finally found somebody who had it for $21 online. And the only kicker, like I said, sometimes I'll do this if it's a big price difference. The only kicker is that this version is not complete in box. So if I see a manual for cheap, or I can get one, I will. But, just to play the game after all these years, because like I said, all these prices are going up. Nostalgia's high for them. People want them again, whatever, which is fine. I want the game, so I don't blame you guys for wanting them too. And, I just wanted to be able to play this after all these years and have it in my collection. So I settled for, $21 complete in box, just because I wanted it. And I didn't want to, I think I seen online complete in box copies are going for about $60. So, if you think about it, it's like, to get the damn manual, that's like a $40 expense. I mean, I'll pay $5 or maybe $10 for a manual, but I ain't paying no $40 for a damn piece of paper, But that I'm very excited to play that game, because it's supposed to be a very good game. And then we've got the last game, a big banger, boom, Dino Crisis 3. This game, I don't know why it's so expensive, because this game is notorious for sucking balls. This game, when I bought it from the game store, I felt like I got scammed, and I paid $7.99 back in the day for it. Okay. This game now, what I paid for it this time around, complete in box. Okay. It's got the good copy of the game disc that works, and, the manual in great shape. And I paid $50, and I got a steal on this game, because this game, I think online, is roughly about $70. This is one of the big daddy baller original Xbox games in 2024. And I'm sure this is going to hit $100 before too soon. So it's like this thing keeps going up. Like, I can't believe what original Xbox games became the expensive ones. I mean, it's just freaking crazy. Because like I said, back in the day, this was never, ever in a million years was this game going to be an expensive game. You know, I mean, Dino Crisis 1 and 2, those were PlayStation 1 games, and those were very good games. Those were basically Resident Evil with dinosaurs. But Dino Crisis 3 is a very weird game because it's like partway through the series. This time you're in outer space, and what this game essentially is, you are shooting. I'm not making this up. I'm not bullshitting you. You are shooting zombified, electrified dinosaurs in outer space. I'm not making that up. The dinosaurs have electricity pulsing out of them, and they are zombies, and they're for some reason, some way, some shape, somehow, they are in outer space. And that is just a strange, just ordeal, you know, just a strange ass video game. But that's why I'm assuming it's so expensive. But yeah, I had this in my collection, like I said, for many years, because I paid $7.99 for it as a kid. And I fell on hard times and I had to sell it. I had to sell it like back during COVID-ish for like $40 maybe. Something like that, $30, $40. So I bought it back, you know, and this one I'm going to clean it up, get that little poop stain off of there. And yeah, it'll be golden. You know, this will be my forever game unless I get freaking vaporized or something. But yeah, that's the last game. So I've got, like I said, good stack of games to clean up here. This is not part of the game haul. I was just using this to hold my my game pickups up. That's my backup original Xbox. But yeah, there's plenty of original Xbox games out there that are very good, very fun, and a lot of them are still very cheap right now, as compared to what they will be when you can't find them anymore. So yeah, just collect what you enjoy, and thank you for your time. God bless you and your family. Have a great day.